an unprecedented year of school shootings, Zika, Flint water crisis, etc. And then came Christmas. Lights, catchy songs, sweets, cheer, mistletoe, hey-o. If you live in North America, you're familiar with the candy cane striped juggernaut of seasonal branding that overlays every part of society like a fresh dusting of snow this time of year. Almost every aspect of Western society is decorated with holiday cheer. But no matter how many potential kisses lay before me under the mistletoe, none of it resonated. I love Christmas, I really do. It is my favorite time of year. But how we celebrate it just seemed meaningless in the face of real life. My wife, Holly, and I have been married since 2005, and because of this partnership, I've witnessed multiple pregnancies and births up close. The third one, and last, being very recent. As we started into the Advent season, I found myself moving away from the decades of nostalgia and visual branding that I had always associated with Christmas time, and I began to meditate on this sacred story, a story about pregnancy, family, incarnation, birth, God with us, through what I had witnessed firsthand as a husband, a father, a birthing partner, a human being. Also, as an artist, I knew I needed some kind of new visual vocabulary to help me along in my journey. It seemed to me the brand of Christmas had traded its honest edge with sanitized characters and a never-ending winter scene, so I began to create an alternative symbol set for this story that differed from what I had seen in contemporary culture. I needed something honest, something real, something with some human grit and a little less green and red in it. If you're not familiar with the terminology, the season of Advent is the period of 4 Sundays and weeks leading up to the celebration of Christmas Day. Advent means coming in Latin, and these weeks are meant to prepare our hearts, minds, and souls for the arrival of God with us, Jesus Christ, born to the Virgin Mary a couple millennia ago. You're supposed to feel the weight, the anticipated arrival of something you want so badly, and by feeling the weight deeply, you'll be even more satisfied by the celebration of the arrival on Christmas Day. At least that's the hope. Let me give you a couple personal definitions when talking about spirituality and religion. Spirituality is making what is invisible visible. Religion is the rituals, rhythms, and practices we form to connect to that visibility. We make up songs, sermons, little performance art pieces to help us put shape and physical presence to a happening we find ourselves historically distanced from. Nativity scenes are a way we visually remind ourselves of this ancient story in our present-day homes or front lawns. Lighting the Advent candles is a way we perceive that the light of the world has come into our midst. Songs like O Come, Emmanuel, and Hark the Herald Angels Sing are catchy theological tunes that give us a chance to sing together corporately, but they also surprisingly become the musical vehicles to approach the divine with the deepest longings of our hearts. That's what is maybe surprising about all of this to me. We don't celebrate Christmas like a memorial service, but like a birthday party. Of course it's Jesus' birthday, as any child in a Christmas pageant play will tell you, but where is Jesus? When you go to a birthday party, you expect the person whose birth you are celebrating to be there, right? First, because you love them and are rejoicing because of their presence in the world. And second, because it justifies all that cake consumption. The deepest longing of our hearts is not just cake, but to rejoice in the presence of Jesus in our midst today. So, where is he? I've co-authored a couple books on prayer with my friend Justin McRoberts, who has a delightful way of framing our frustration with prayer by stating that we can often confuse the mechanics of prayer with the essence of prayer. We can get all caught up with our language and body positioning and forget that these are just the invented structures that help us connect to what prayer is really about, abiding in the love of God. This is true about all our sacred liturgies and services as well. They are just the visible mechanics that help us get to the invisible essence of the love of God. Often we can become too obsessed with the mechanics, substituting them for the essence, which is completely understandable. It's comforting to be able to hold on to something tangible versus the unseen wild goose of the holy mystery. This is how some faith communities become so obsessed with the style of music, certain ceremonial practices, or just anything that has a lot of nostalgia in it. Nostalgia is the familiar...